one of the most important things is just kind of how not only like what you learn in the sport helps you in the sport, but also kind of the impact it can have outside of the sport because you understand what it's like to not be a wrestler. Like you were helping out, you were coaching, you were kind of practicing on the side, but like you kind of got a little bit of the taste before going to Cornerstone. So overall, like what are some like the most like important like life lessons that you've learned from wrestling? Like is it about giving it your all? Is it about the team? Is it about relationships? Like, I'm sure that there's probably a ton of stuff that you can take away from wrestling that obviously you can apply towards wrestling, but you can also apply it towards life as well.
Yeah, you know, like I said, wrestling isn't easy. You know, everyone should know that. If you don't know anything about wrestling, you should know that it is extremely hard. And
Yep.
um, going into the sport and where I am today, I am obviously I'm older, so a lot more mature, but also like I'm a lot stronger as a person, mentally and physically. And when you're in, especially when you're in season, like you're exhausted. Like college, you're exhausted. I mean, to a point where like I'm gonna sit on the mat after practice. After at Cornerstone we'll pray after practice. I'm gonna sit on the mat and rest for maybe 5-10 minutes before I have enough energy to go hit the showers. And like you're exhausted every day. And one thing for me, for example, I work. I have to, after practice, I go to work. So like, it can be mentally, challenging, but it's what makes you grow. It makes you grow into the person, and you learn. Obviously, like me, balancing work, school, and wrestling, time management. You know, and obviously I'm not perfect, but you learn how to balance that and how to balance also like, if you're in a relationship, having friends that aren't wrestlers. My teammate or my old teammate Aiden, he's not a wrestler anymore. He doesn't wrestle. He's still my best friend. We still hang out. You still have those connections with people as a athlete, whether it's wrestling, football, whatever. You have your own life. And yes, there's the saying that, wrestling is life, or, my life is all wrestling. Like, yes, that is true. It very much is. You really, whether you practice or put in effort outside of the actual practice, it very much is life. But it teaches you to balance life outside of the mat, and
Exactly.
how being a wrestler and having, to overcome being tired, having to tell yourself that nope, I'm not going to quit. I'm not tired. I got 2 more miles to run, or I can do at least 10 more sweep singles. Like doing all of that in practice mentally, and not giving up, and physically being able to overcome those challenges, um, because that's an everyday thing. That's in every practice in college. You are like, you have to have that conversation to yourself in your head while you're at practice. Like, nope, let's do this. Come on, we're not giving up. Let's keep going. Especially when it comes under practice and you're going live. Live isn't just like, okay, let's just go through the motions. You have to make it like an actual match, or you're not going to get better as a wrestler. You're just not. And that's wherever you're at, college or high school, middle school, wherever you're at. If you're not going to give it your all, then why are you there? And
Exactly.
that's how you have to go about life. If you're not going to go to work, and you're not going to, you're just going to sit there and not do anything, or you're just going to, stand and say hi to customers when they walk in. Like, you have to give it your all. You have to, whether you're not feeling it or not. I've gone to practice and I've been dog sick. I've gone to practice and been tired. You know, I've also been to practice when I am excited to be at practice and fully energized. I've been all over the place with emotions when it comes to going into practice. And you leave exhausted no matter what, and but you leave accomplished. And that's how you should feel after, you do you work really hard on an assignment at school, or you work really hard at your job and you get a promotion, right? Because like you put in the hours, you've done all the right things, and you've put in the effort. That's how, wrestlers are. I don't know a wrestler who doesn't have that quality, because it's so mentally and physically challenging that it shapes you. It shapes you into a hard worker, regardless if you're on or off mat. It also it makes you into a better person. You have to work extremely hard all the time. Whether you want to, whether you're a wrestler that is just doing it because you happen to be good at it, or if you're a wrestler that is, good, but you want to go college, or if you're in college and you want to go Olympic, you have to put in the hard work, and it will definitely show outside of it, outside of the room. It will show in work. It will show at school, because you can handle pretty much everything in life. You can handle all the hard stuff, and wrestling's such an amazing opportunity for young kids. Whether you start in high school or you start in middle school or even younger, it's a great opportunity to grow, and you meet so many people, and you grow as a into a great man, as Coach Chris would say. You grow into a great man, and that's the mentality. He's you at Cornerstone. The one thing that I love about it is you they're shaping you into a like good husband someday, and but also great wrestler. You're gonna get better in college, but Coach Chris, he wants to make you into a good man too. He's not gonna you're not gonna leave practice, or leave the season and not improve better. Whether it's something you recognize in the moment or not, you'll improve every day. And wrestling is it's one of those sports that it helps you in the long run, and you won't notice it while you're in it, but you will after. And one thing that I'm grateful for, that I've kind of learned, is to be grateful for the moments that I have now, that I'm still in college and I'm still wrestling, and I still have a year or so. Like, I'm grateful for the fact that I have the opportunity to recognize what like how good I have it right now. And I'm really looking forward to after college, and how what I do today shapes me into the man I will be then. And wrestling is just it's such an amazing opportunity for young kids to grow in, like, being more disciplined, and grow in maturity, and being able to you know suck it up when life gets hard, because that life isn't easy. Life is hard, and wrestling really does teach you that. It doesn't teach you exactly like, oh, wrestling's going to make your life hard. Not like that. It's by going through those hard practices and mentally having to say, like, hey, I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up. I just got taken down. All right, we're going to get back up, and we're going to do it again, right? And that's how life is. You get taken down, you have to get back up. If you don't get back up, life will eat you alive. And wrestling teaches you to get back up, and it teaches you to get back up, but not only but also be able to take it on strong, right? Being able to be like, okay, well, that's not going to happen again. That's what wrestling teaches you. And it's an important life lesson, that it really is. It's an important lesson, but it's also like something that I'm grateful in my life that I've learned through wrestling. Because I honestly, if I didn't wrestle, I don't think I would have learned that as early as I did.